Good morning. 좋은 아침입니다. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. This is Eddy from Hanguk. It's January 21st. Good. Yes, very cute. I have been actually my friend gave me this 3 years ago and still using it. January 21st, 9 a.m. in Korea, Thursday. I believe some of you are still in the 20th Wednesday night kind of ish, or too early morning on Thursday. Hopefully it's not too late, not too early. It's kind of dark. The Instagram is kind of dark. I hope it's okay. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I like this. 네, 좋은 아침입니다. 좋은 아침입니다. In Korea, it's a little bit chilly. It's winter time still. We had lots of snow this winter, but not today. No winter at all. Hopefully, the weather gets warmer and warmer when it comes to springtime, summertime, fall, winter. Hello, this is Eddy from Hanguk. We are live from South Korea, Seoul, 9 a.m. So the reason that I go to back and forth, here is our YouTube channel, and this is our Instagram. So that's why I go like back and forth. Hello. Good morning. I don't know why, but the Instagram is a little bit kind of dark. Hope you guys are fine. So for today, as I told you already, I'm going to cover some questions and giving you like the page information, entry restriction and quarantine rules in Korea, which is with the virus situation, the Korea government try to enforce people coming from outside of Korea to be safe for both of us. So there are a couple of things you have to know if you are coming to Korea later or now. Yeah, so of course there are many information, and then I'm giving you pretty much same thing, very basic. However, knowing it early, the better for you to make your own plan. So that's why we are having this live streaming. Only one notice for today. So we are now in the January 21st. But if you want to come in this March, then still the school is open. Dongguk University is still open. So I want you to contact us if you want to come this March. Dongguk University. The March term starts on March 22nd, I believe. So still you have time. So if you wanna try to something new, and if you have delayed your studying to Korea, then you can come and study. Okay. So before starting, there are one question actually. So let me answer it, and then we can go my preparation. I have many like memos here and there. Of course, I pretty much remember everything, but not to miss anything yet. Anything. So from the Jennifer, if I am vaccinated, do I still need to quarantine? Actually, we don't have any rules for that. So if you got vaccine, then when it time's right, then the Korea government will kind of make new rules for that. But still, I believe you are, even though you get the vaccine, you are coming from outside. So there would be basic rules you need to follow, which I will explain now. So to the answer, I believe you can still need to be quarantined for 14 days. But hopefully, in the near future, the new rule would come for those who already got vaccine. Hopefully, it's easy enough so that everyone be more like free. From the YouTube, Steven, my Korean is not that good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Me speaking English is not that great as well. So knowing where you are, starting point. No problem, Jennifer. No problem. So let's get started. I was supposed to go last year. Oh yeah, it was delayed. Yes. It's not easy. Of course, there are challenges, new challenges with this situation. But I normally say, nothing much we can do for the coronavirus. You need to make your own path. So that's the most important thing. 안녕하세요. Okay. So when it comes to entry and the quarantine rule, there are one very big criteria. So whether you are going to stay long term or short term. So I write it down. It's like the other way. Oh my God. Okay, the other way. So I'm not gonna use it. So I didn't expect that coming. So when it comes to long term, you are going to stay over 90 days, 90 days. Then you are going to be considered a long term stay. And on the other hand, if you are going to less than 90 days, you are be short term stay. So based on those two criteria, the path is different. So for example, if you come to short term to Korea, then you are going to automatically needs to stay in the government facility. Of course, there are some exceptions, but I don't want to give the exception too much. But this is like basic information, basic rules currently. So when you come, let's say, for example, if you will come like June of this year, March of this year, the rule might be changing. So you need to keep checking it. But for now, if you are coming less than 90 days without visa or with only visiting visa, then you have to stay 14 days in the government facility. And then in the government facility, you will get the test, the PCR test. So stay there 14 days, and then you can come out, and then you are going to be free. It's quite simple for the short-term stay. And one thing you need to know, if you are going to stay in the government facility, or the fees is up on you. So you need to pay for the fees. Normally is per day, 10만 원 per day. So in US dollar, it's going to be like $95 per day, which is including the stay, the hotel stay, and then the 3 meals per day. And then there are some snacks, minor snacks, which I don't know. And the PCR test is also like for free. So 10만 원, let's say $100 per day for 14 days is gonna be your cost. And then you will be guided to the subway station or Incheon airport, and then from there you need to just go to your accommodation. So short-term stay is quite easy. let's say long-term stay. So you arrive Korea and then you have visa, like for us, like D4 visa, student visa. Then you are going to stay your own accommodation for 14 days. And then during the 14 days, no, not during the 14 days. First, when you get to the accommodation, you need to get tested within 3 days. But recently, the rule might be changing, so you need to test. You need to visit the local hospital to get tested. So in 3 days. So you get to the accommodation, and then you need to visit the local healthcare center or PCR center to get tested. And then during the staying in your own accommodation, you need to feed yourself all the food. You need to feed yourself, and then there are a couple of rules when you stay in your own accommodation. First, like I said, you need to feed yourself, and then from the airport, actually, you will be asked to install application on your phone. So you need to report 2 times the temperature check or temperature check 2 times on the app until the last day. And then, that's pretty much actually. So if you're going to stay long term, which means over 90 days, you need to prepare your own accommodation, and then you are going to stay there for 14 days. You need to feed yourself. You need to report your temperature 2 times a day. And then you need to you need to get tested in Korea, within 1 or 3 days. It used to be 3 days, but government say you need to get tested in 1 day. And then if you are negative, then you are going to stay there. Good, so far so good. So like I said, this is the basic information, the basic rule. So when you come like later March or June or September, the rule might be changing, based on the situation at that time. Good. So let me answer some of your questions, and then I will move forward. If I have PCR with negative result, how many times do I have to do it again once I arrive to Korea? So minimum 1 time or 2 times. Not every country will ask for 2 times, but some of the countries will be asked to do 2 times. And then the government, the local government will contact you if you need like second result. So when you arrive, if you are going to stay long term in your accommodation, then the negative result would be like first time arrive home, and then you go to the local health center, PCR center, to get test negative, good, and then you might be able to be asked one more time just before the quarantine ending day. Let's say 12 days or 13 days. You will be asked to do once again, and if the result is negative, then you will be free. So to answer your question, Fran, minimum 1 time or 2 times in Korea. Thank you. I try hard. From Fluto, hi, are there usually a lot of requests for dorm rooms? Yes. A dorm is always like a limit. Dorm is like for all like schools have limited like numbers. So the first come, first served. So if you want to stay at dormitory, then the early, the better for you. So yes, you need to. There are limitations for the dorm room. Another question from the Jennifer. if you are on a long-term stay, is there an option to stay in the government facility, or do we have to quarantine in our accommodation? That's very good question. And for now, you have no option to only stay in your own dormitory. So you need to prepare your own dormitory. So the dormitory facility is only for the short-term staying people. Good. Bonjour. Bonjour. This only thing that I know French. Hello. Thank you for joining to our live streaming. No problem, Fran. No problem. Okay, this is Eddy once again from the Korea. I'm talking about the quarantine rules in Korea when you come to Korea. Of course, like I said, it's the basic information for now. So when you come later, it might be different. So you need to keep checking it. Of course, we will keep checking it, and then if you have any question, we will get back to you as well. And then, I'm covering the questions from the quarantine, but if you have like basic information how to live and study in Korea, you can ask here at the same time. You can always email us at info@gogohanguk.com. Good. Another question. If you choose the shared house option, where will you be sending your 14 days isolation? Oh, it's going to be up to you. Once again, the basic rule is that the 14 days. I should write the other way. So if you are going to stay short term, less than 9 days without visa, or only with the visiting visa, then you have to stay in the government facility. And if you are going to stay long term, you cannot, for the quarantine, 14 days quarantine, you cannot stay in the share house. You need to leave yourself like one room or like a hotel that do the like 14 days quarantine, or Airbnb. You need to get proof that the facility is like 14 days okay with the 14 days quarantine. So, but after the 14 days, if you are negative, then you are free to go to share house. Hello from Morocco. No problem. Let me answer only this one, and then let's move on. I will do from the front. I will do my quarantine at the university's dormitory. Good, in Busan. If the same university will take me to the place of the PCR off, should I go by myself? It would be quite simple. I'm not sure which university you are going to go. But you need to check with the university. Or if you are going to use our university, not our university, our partner university, then please let us know. So actually, it's a good question, because another thing that I want to give you is how to get to the accommodation. So let's say if everything was okay at the airport, and then if you are going to stay in the short-term stay, like short-term government quarantine place, then the government will arrange the bus to go there. So you don't need to worry about it. Of course, you don't have to pay another fee for the bus. So everything is covered by our government, or you already pay for the hotel fee, including everything. But in case you are going to stay long term in Korea and you need to go to your own accommodation, there are mostly two ways to get there. So first thing is by using special bus. The second thing is also special taxi. So there's two ways to go to your accommodation. But two things, same. So let's say, for example, if you arrive in Korea 9 a.m. or 10 a.m., and then you will use the bus to go to your accommodation, the two special things, bus or a taxi, will bring you to the PCR center near your accommodation. and then get tested there, and then you are going to go to your own accommodation. But let's say, for example, you come to Korea late, and then the hospital PCR center will be already closed. Then the bus or taxi will bring you to your own accommodation, and then you should visit the PCR center next day or within 3 days. Of course, the bus will not bring you to your home, but near the bus stop, and then from there to there you need to walk with a mask. Good. So Busan is actually one of the good examples, because, for example, let me give you how to get to the Busan from the Incheon, which we normally do. And then, for example, from the Incheon to Busan, you cannot fly from the airport, or Incheon to Seoul to Incheon. I would say Incheon. Incheon to Daegu, Incheon to Jeju, Incheon to Busan. You cannot fly. What you need to do, when you will be asked to do, is that from the Seoul Incheon Airport, and then going to Gwangmyeong City, and then Gwangmyeong City by bus. Incheon to Gwangmyeong by bus, Gwangmyeong to Busan or Daegu by KTX. KTX means a KTX train, fast train. So that's the only way for now. That's the only way to get to the Busan. So you need to, if you are going to land in the Incheon, then you need to follow that way. Of course, if you are find some flight from your country to Busan, then you can just land in there. So you need to get to the Busan first, and then there would be another process to your dormitory. Good? Good? Yeah. So how to get to your accommodation when it comes to a long-term stay? Then there's two ways: simply taxi or bus. Good. Good. Let me go through if I have another questions. Laura, do you think that the situation would be changed? I don't know. I cannot tell. But one thing that I can tell you is that currently, every day Korea has nowadays 400 new cases, 500 new cases. But it same as any other country, we have third wave from end of November. The peak was we had 1,000 cases per day, new cases, but it goes down. Hopefully, luckily, with many effort. So for now, Korea has 400 new cases, 300 new cases per day. So I would say it got better in Korea. It got better in Korea. In autumn, hopefully yes. Good. Okay, let me check if there is another case. If we are in the share house, we have to organize our own place of quarantines. Yes, you have to. So share house, you cannot stay for the quarantine. You need to stay your own. So you cannot stay share house for quarantine. So you need to find the quarantine place for 14 days, and then you need to move to the quarantine place. A share house. So quarantine 14 days first, and then share house. Of course, let's say, for example, somehow the share house has only one person only for you. Then you can stay there, but of course you need to check with the share house company whether it's possible or not. Another question: if you take the vaccine before arriving to Korea, will we have to be able to skip quarantine? For now, no. Like I said, there is no rule for that for now. So giving you basic information, if you are coming from outside, whether you have the vaccinated or not, for now you need to do 14 days quarantine. But hopefully, like I said, it will be changed. It makes sense. Hello, medicine. It's been a while. Another question from R. Will the bus be made? Will the bus be many students or just other people arriving in the same place, same flight? Mm, I totally am not like follow your question on 100%. Bus with many students or just people from same same flight? I don't think so. The bus from I don't know, bus from Incheon to Gwangmyeong or bus from Incheon airport to your accommodation is like the people over there is gonna be random people. You know, there are many flights from all over the world to, I believe, South Korea. Then the people, would be quite random. It doesn't have to be in the same student or same person from the same flight. I don't think so. I already have my KTX ticket to Busan. That's good to prepare in advance, but I normally don't recommend to buy the ticket first, just because it's not sure if when you are going to go through all the like process, like for example, arriving to Incheon, Korea, and then there are some process, of course, like installing app or at the airport and do some like filling the forms, and so it's gonna be based on how many people at the time, how busy at the time. So normally I wouldn't recommend it. I believe you are going to find the ticket quite easily. Of course, you need to wait quite easily from the Gwangmyeong to Busan. So that's not my personal recommendation. But let's say, for example, if you bought it like quite like a long uh, time of period in between, then it might be fine. Will people with the vaccine confirmation also have to be quarantined? For now? Yes. Will our Gogo Hanguk organizer help us organize that? Thank you so much. I'm not sure what that means. Let me go further before that. If you are saying about the share house, then yes, we can help that. So let us know. Okay, let me go through another things. Uh, some cases. For example, let's say you arrived in Incheon and then nobody knows what did happen. But for example, if you arrive in Incheon, then you have fever or cough, even though you were negative in your country. Then no matter what, like for example, short term, long term stay, no matter what, if you have symptoms at the airport, you will be asked to do test at the airport. And then you are going to wait in the airport, or you will be asked to go to the facilities. No, not that one. You will be asked a test at the airport, and then you will be asked to stay at the airport until the result comes. And then based on that, if you somehow got positive result, then you will go to the hospital for the treatment right away. Of course, you might be wait based on the number of the bed, but if you are excuse me, if you are going to get a positive result, then you will go to the hospital. But if you are going to get a negative result, then you will be same as before, short-term government facility, long-term your own accommodation. Good. So that's some case study. Yeah, that's done. That's done. That's covered. That's I cover. How to get there. Okay, I believe I covered everything. I believe you already know there are some new rules recently from the January 8th. So for example, so I have been explaining, arriving Korea and quarantine and where to quarantine, how to get to the accommodation. But nowadays, Korea government will be asked for the PCR test negative if you when providing the letter at the airport. So PCR test negative result will be needed in order to get to your flight. And then the test result, the test should be done minimum less than 72 hours from your departure. For example, if you are coming today, January 21st, and then going back to 72 hours, so January 21st, January 18th, in between you need to get test and you need to provide a negative result in order to get the flight today. So that's new rule. And some countries ask us for 48 hours before, within the result, within the 48 hours. Some country does that. Then you need to follow the order. So for example, for 14-hour rules, 48-hour rule, flight today, then you need to get tested in between January 19th, January 21st. In between, you need to get tested, a negative result, and then you can get on the flight. If not, you are not able to get on even the flight. That's something new. Of course, like I said, it can be different in the future. So I want you to keep checking it. And of course, if you're asking us, we can keep checking and then let you know how things are going. But today I'm giving you the basic information. Good. Good. I think I cover everything. So January 21st, this is Eddy from Hanguk from South Korea. I'm giving you the basic information about the quarantine, entering to the Korea, these days. Let me go through some questions and then we can do another things. From R, is it possible that the people at your service can help to move from quarantine house to share house, or do we have to move on our own? Oh, we can help that. So after quarantine, we can arrange the pickup service. If you're not comfortable to use your own a way of the of car or a subway, public subway, then of course we can arrange that. If then, just let us know. No problem. Having many questions is fine. Don't worry. As long as I can answer them. Oh, you have experience from before medicine. Yeah, the staff at the testing center, temperature facility are super nice. Thank you for saying that. Yes, I bought my ticket with the 2 hours KTX ticket, the train ticket, 2 hours and a half, 2.5 difference between my arrival and the ticket time to Busan. Okay, I'm not sure whether it's good enough. Yeah, I cannot tell that. 2.5 is good enough or not. Like I say, it's going to be based on how many people at the time at the airport, how many people how busy at the time. So I cannot tell 2.5 would be enough or not. Sorry about it. But once again, like I said, I normally recommend for our student to buy later, if possible. Another question from Jennifer: how do we organize the special bus, special taxi when we are at the airport? Is there a place in the airport that help us organize that? Yes, there would be some people will help you, of course, always, So don't worry about that too much. What I was told that you will be divided into like different sections. Like for example, if you are going to stay, uh, I'm saying the long-term stay. If you are going to stay, Busan, there is another section to go wait. If you are going to stay in Seoul, then there are another section marked with Seoul. So you go there, wait there. There would be some like different like area, different like route for the treatment. So same thing. If you are going to stay certain place, there would be some place for taxi help, bus help. But once again, you might be able to like wait maybe a couple of hours or I don't know how many minutes or how many hours based on the situation. So it's not once again it's not easy easier time to come to Korea, but there is always way for us to find. Oh, another good question. When we arrive in Korea, they say you need to provide someone's name that lives in Korea. Yes. Can we say your company name? If you are going to use our service, then of course. And then it's also there are some person or some, how can I put this? So to answer your question, yes, if you are going to use our service because we know you are coming through us, then you can use my number to provide the official at the airport. So yes, but sometimes, let's say for example, um, if you are going to stay, so we have partnership with like some company for the accommodation, and if you are going to stay there, then the company will give the number and name to you to use it at the airport. But in the meantime, like I said, if there's nobody and if you are going to use our service, then of course we are going to give my number basically. So the person has to have a Korean number. Good to know. Good to know. Good. So the last part would be, last two part, like I said, basic rule: being in for, quarantine for 14 days. The basic rule is that, like I said, uh, you should, you will be asked to install the government application on your phone. So you will be asked two times, report your temperature two times. And of course, there are a couple of like phone calls from the like a local office, local government, or local hospital. So you need to answer there. And then if you during the quarantine, 14 days quarantine, you need to feed yourself. For example, basically you cannot go out. You need to stay at the room. In that sense, you can do the like delivery food. That's fine. And if your friends bring some food or some things for you, then you cannot in contact. For example, if your friend bring like a nice, I don't know, mug cup, then he or she needs to put in your room, like door, and then there shouldn't be no contact in between. So he left or she left, and then you just go there and grab the food or grab the things. So that's totally possible. But the basic rule is that you cannot go out, so you need to feed yourself. Good. So temperature check two times per day, feed yourself, uh, and then PCR test within 1 or 3 days. So at that time, only at that time you can go out. Only at that time. You need to visit there, so you need to go out. And then finish for 14 days. Of course, hopefully you will be negative result so that you can, stay on your accommodation. Let's say, for example, if you get like positive result after getting into your accommodation, then there would be another process for you to go to the hospital for the treatment. Hopefully everyone get like a negative and healthy. Another question from here: need to make some friends before arriving there. Yes, I can always use the good food app. Yes, yes, yes. That's what you should do. Order food. I guess yes, you can order food by your applications. But of course, having Korean SIM would be much beneficial, much more beneficial for this time. Yes, I got from medicine. I got special trash bags that were bright red and said biohazard on them. Yes. So the government will give you, no matter what, whether you're staying in the like a long-term stay, your own accommodation with the long-term stay, or government facility for short-term stay. The government will post to you, like I said, like a yellow biohazard, bag, plastic bag. So everything should be there for 14 days. Should be there, and then tied up, put it outside, and somebody will take care of it. Let me answer the last question, and then we can go the final stage. If the quarantine changes until summer, and we don't have to be in quarantine, how will the process look like? Oh, I really hope so. Will you go direct to your long time accommodation? If there is no quarantine rule, it's gonna be pretty same as last, the time that we don't have the virus. So to answer that, yes, if there is no quarantine rule, there is basically you are free at the airport. Maybe you maybe do the PCR test at the airport, but if there's no quarantine rule, then you just go into your prepared accommodation, either dormitory, your own accommodation, Airbnb. Another question: can we order food to our quarantine facility without a Korean SIM card? It's a yes and no. It's a yes and no. Some application that you can order without any Korean SIM card, but mostly you should have your own Korean SIM card, mostly. So like I said, there is some way for you to order the food, but it's not like friendly way. So having the Korean SIM card, much beneficial. And if you are one of our students, then we can also arrange the SIM card. And then you can use it only 1 month or 3 months. And if you like it, you can extend it. But of course, there are some rules as well, but still. Okay, so the last process would be after quarantine. So you got everything is negative, you done nothing wrong, you you don't like escape from your quarantine place, then everything was perfect. Then 14 days, you know, you will be maybe get some text message or a phone call from, or without any phone call, just you after 14 days you will be free, and at the time you can uninstall the application from the government. That's totally fine. And then you can move around without any like restriction. Of course, currently, every time you need to wear the mask outside or sometimes inside. For example, if you go to Starbucks, at first you need to have this one. And then while you're drinking, while you're eating some food, you can eat like a take off, but always recommended to wear the mask all the time. So after that, after 14 days quarantine, you will be free to go, anywhere. Another question: when you say that you can help with the SIM card, do you mean that the SIM card will be delivered to our quarantine place? That's yes and no. Some quarantine place, for example, government facility, I don't think they allow you to have any packages outside. But for example, like I said, if you are going to stay your own accommodation, then that's totally fine. Yes, we will send it to your quarantine place. But of course, it's not going to be like right on time. It may be like 1 or 2 days delays, uh, but still, we can do that. So knowing your plan in advance is always beneficial. So pretty much I covered everything for today. Once again, this is the basic rule for this time being. So it could be different in the future. So I want you to be, keep checking if you are interested in coming to Korea. But the basic criteria, like I said from the beginning, all the rules is based on how long you will stay with visa or without visa. So whether you're going to stay less than 90 days, we call it short-term stay, 단기 체류자 in Korean. If you are going to stay long-term, over 90 days with visa, 장기 체류자, then based on that, the rule might be changing. In the meantime, having symptom, no symptom, positive, negative, based on that, you are going to stay government facility, you are going to stay even going to hospital, or stay on your accommodation for 14 days. So that's the basic rule. And based on that, you can prepare your plan for coming to Korea. Oh, in 16 days. Good, good. So that's basic rule. To give you a little bit more information, for example, the worst case scenario, you got like tested positive and you go to the hospital. The treatment fee for the hospital, let's say, for example, you don't have your own insurance, the treatment fee for the hospital is based on the contract in between Korea and your country. For example, Korean visit me, visiting your country, and somehow I got like positive test, then I will be treated in your country, at your hospital in your country. Then if the fee covers for me, if your government, if your country will cover the fees for me, hospital fees for me, our government will do the same thing. Good. So for example, if you are get like, if you are, so there is 3 types: covering everything, covering kind of in the middle, covering nothing in between. So if your country will cover Korean, our country will cover your fees for the treatment, either full, kind of half, kind of nothing. So based on that, the fee will be changed. The fee will be charged to you. Of course, if you have like insurance, then it's totally different story. Based on your insurance, the fee will be covered some part or fully. That's something I cannot tell, but that's kind of basic diplomatic rule in between Korea in terms of the fees, hospital fees, when it comes to the worst kind of scenario case. Good. I have some time before I will come to Korea, so hopefully the situation will be a bit better. I really hope so. I've seen a news saying that Korea has like first case, confirmed case, about 1 year ago, and it has been 1 year already, January 21st already. And then the rule changed from time to time, but of course, this year will be much better, hopefully, with vaccine, and then luckily Korea does good jobs in terms of like controlling the, confirmed cases, treatment. I believe Korea does quite good job. So it would be pretty like a safe to stay in Korea. And because we had recently we had like interview with one of the student who started December term 2020 December, and she said it's much more safer, much safer, and then it's based on how you do no matter what. So I normally encourage our students to do the same thing. The time is valuable, so if you make your own decision, we will keep supporting you. At the same time, the Korea does quite good job. Of course, there is some rules, with rules, we control it. So with rules, if you obey the rules, then you will be safe in Korea, as well as studying. Living in Korea would be pretty much safer. Good. Another question. There is no certification, don't worry about it. But will all our class be in person, or could they possibly be online at all? That's very good question, because it's gonna be based on the situation. So currently, like I said, with the third wave, many school does the online, like in real time online class. But it's like back and forth during the last year. So for example, if the situation got better, then it's gonna be in-person study. The situation got worse, it's gonna be like online study, but it's gonna be still like a real time Zoom, Webex online class. So it's gonna back and forth. So that's actually a very good question, because after the quarantine, and then the reason for you to come through us is gonna be studying Korean in Korea. So that's actually a very good question. So the answer would be yes and no. Depending on the situation, the school will say, oh, this week, from this week, or next week, or for 2 weeks to 4 weeks. Even this term would be like online class. So it's going to be pretty much based on the situation. But hopefully, since this kind of situation, vaccine situation, I hope it's going to get better. So then you guys do the offline class. And surprisingly, some people like being in online for the studying. So it's like pros and cons, or based on the case. Yeah, same to Busan as well. So it doesn't have to be Seoul or Busan. It's going to be more likely situation in Korea and government rules, or for all the classes, all the schools. So it doesn't matter whether you are in Seoul or Busan. Let's say, for example, if Seoul say offline, but Busan can be also online, it would be the other way. But in general, it's going to based on the situation at the time. So no matter the city, isn't not really matter. Good. Okay, I think I covered everything. It's almost 1 hour. Hopefully, I gave you some like beneficial information. But once again, this is the basic information. Hopefully, when you come, the rule may be easy enough for you, so you can come easier and staying, normal. Good. Okay, thanks for joining. This is not helping me at all. About it yesterday, I didn't think about the other way. The screen is going to be the other way. Yes, this video will be staying at the Instagram, as well as I'm doing the it's kind of, the outside is very bright, so it's gonna be saved in the Instagram, as well as I'm live in the YouTube channel. So hopefully you can check it out later. And like I say, always ask us at info@gogohanguk.com. Good. Yeah. Already it's 10 a.m. 21st of January. And no snow today. No snow today. Not that cold today. And then, like I said, still, if you want to come in March, Dongguk University is still accepting our student. So contact us now to get help. I will prepare much better next time. And then actually from next week, we are planning to do live streaming like this for the Dongguk University. So if you have any question about the Dongguk University, or if you have another question, how to live and study in Korea, or quarantine rules, which my memo for today, then feel free to ask us next week, with another live session. Okay. Be safe. Masks on. Mask on perfectly without no space. Everyone knows about it. And then clean your hands a lot. Good. Be safe. Bye-bye. See you next week with another live session. Good. YouTube ending.